Assalamu alaikum. This is my report in Educ.510 Survey of Issues in Philippine Education under Module 4, Part 2. My topic is about education and globalization. What is global and education? Globalization has a close relation with education, as education has an important place in shaping a society. Globalization has to be connected with education, and the global activities have a deep impact on it. Globalization of the world economies is leading to increased emphasis on internalization of the subjects included in a course of study in school. It also creates the opportunities for new partnerships in research and teaching with agencies and institutions across the world. Globalization is one of the most powerful worldwide forces that are transforming the basis of business competition, paradoxically hearkening an era in which small, local communities of practice may lead to a prominent structural form. Communities of practice engage organizations to build, share, and apply deeply of competence required to compete in a knowledge-based global economy. So globalization and education. Education, jobs that exist today may not be there tomorrow, a challenge to education. Change is accelerating, a trend to education. Multilingual, a trend to education. Cross-border education, an issue to education. Ubiquitous education, trend to education. In every era, humanity lives an increase and rapid change. New challenges force social, economic, and cultural values. In the field of education, a lot of changes are expected. Duties of schools is to ameliorate the individual's appropriateness with the concept of globalization that changes traditional structure of education, which is one of the main rapid changes today in universities and other institutions that are redoubling their efforts to respond to social change. They have to implement society's expectations. Higher education is principal to the social, economic, and cultural health of the nation. It will contribute not only through the intellectual development of students and by preparing them for work, but also by adding to the world's store of knowledge and understanding. In this quotation, Gordon said that higher education is very important in different domains and it contributes in the promotion of students' knowledge and helping them to integrate in job fields. The term education is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, morals, beliefs, and habits. Educational methods include teaching, training, storytelling, discussion, and directed research. Education, as we understand it here, is a process of inviting truth and possibility, encouraging and giving time to discovery. It is, as John Dewey in 1916 put it, a social process, a process of living and not a preparation for future living. The term globalization means integration of economies and societies through cross-country flows of information, ideas, technologies, goods, service, capital, finance, and people. How do education and globalization related? The effects of globalization on education bring faster developments in technology and communications are foreseeing changes within school systems across the world as ideas, values, and knowledge, changing the roles of students and teachers, and producing a shift in society from industrialization towards information. Why is education important to globalization? So, in today's world, globalization is an important concept for students in higher education to understand and appreciate because of the demand in business and industry to hire people who can work with people of other nations and cultures, and if we need we can travel independently internationally to promote their business. So, the impact of globalization on higher education. The impact of the various trends and challenges related to globalization on higher education institutions and policies is profound, but also diverse, depending on the specific location in the global arena. An attempt can be made to define some general tendencies in higher education that, in one way or another, relate to globalization, create new and tremendously important demands and exigencies, an increase in the demand for higher education worldwide, erosion of the national regulatory and policy frameworks, the emerging borderless higher education market. The global education system has many goals in common for every country. The aims and importance of global education can be stated as follows. First one, let those who participate in educational process obtain skills of new cultures. Second one, develop the ability of distinguishing intercultural differences. Third one, aiding the people for criticizing events from global perspective. Fourth one, explain how different cultures impact the activities of organizations. Help students realize how attitudes are shaped and how they influence the behaviors. Last one, the language and harmony skills of the managers who will work in different cultures should be developed. Provide the ability of working together with the people coming from different cultures. Develop the skills of multi-sided thinking by causing them gain the cultural sensitivity and experience. Teach how to behave according to cultural differences. Teach how to manage multinational groups. Develop the way of thinking from individuality to globalize. Conclusion. Globalization has many interconnected, far-reaching, and complex dimensions, which had an enormous impact on educational systems. So there is a positive effects of globalization. First one, economic growth. Second one, technological advancement. Third one, political and social integration. Fourth one, expansion of democracy. Fifth one, dissemination of knowledge and ideas. Last one, increased learning opportunities. If there is a positive effects of globalization, There is also a negative effects of globalization. First one, rampant consumerism. Second one, feelings of disenfranchisement. Third one, inequity. Fourth one, animosity and exclusion. Fifth one, environment degradation. Sixth one, allegations of imperialism and hegemony. Last one, increased disparities of wealth and other inequities between developed and developing countries. So that's all for my topic. Thank you. This is Nawira Dibangkitun, reporter for this topic.